Big Zeus, boy to the gate, 1600 on the map. Yeah, supposed to be the people's house, I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers, I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Yeah. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Founding father vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash.
On a big tech, turn these dreams to bad.
I'm the voice of the hood,
Trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hand,
but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Probably selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap.
Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops.
Power plays all day, I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Big Zeus. Big Zeus. You gotta say it like that. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. Take it back and write the code. 1600 got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told.
I will never ever fold.
I'm trapping out the west.
Doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Find no stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked. This power never. For the block, head buses make them wanna fight. 1600.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap.
Fight for the keys,
That's a fact, it's a rap. I'ma bring it back in the people's house.
powers in the air.
1600 Pennsylvania Ave.
Knocking on your door. It's the people's house.
We wanna hear your soul. All right, let's get this show started. I don't got all morning, ladies and gentlemen. Some of us got things to do. All right, let's get this show started. You know what I came to do. A lot of damage, but someone has to do it, all right? Uh-oh. They hate it when I do this. They hate this one, but we're going to do it, all right? Stuck in time.
It's like a curse. And I can't escape.
That's right. Good morning, Maureen, Barbie. It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. It's like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. Hey, let's go. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. I won't. This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. Let's go. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. Right, Evan? Right, Ralph? Rick! Good morning, Rick. Uh-oh. All right, here's our favorite part. This is my favorite part. It always gets to me. It never gets old. Watch this. Watch it. Here we go.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
Lies.
Yes.
Shit was
Snuggles.
radical.
Very
It
radical.
was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh. I tell you, all right. I mean, that makes me laugh. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Happy Friday. Today's October 3rd. Once again, we are the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I'm your pilot. And it's going to be, once again, a short show, 1 hour long. I'll do my monologue for 30, and then we'll talk to all of you in the audience. For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Was quite simple. The first H is, it's because I'm honest, right? hold on. Yeah, okay. I'm the most honest person on social media. The second H, it's because I'm humble. Listen, if I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. But here's the thing: just because your feelings are hurt doesn't mean that I owe you an apology. Most likely, it means you do need to sit your special behinds down and just listen to this special broadcast. Because honestly, you just might walk away learning something. All right. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain. You've guessed it, the most handsome. See, I did that. You didn't see it coming, but I did it. Now, many of you know exactly what we do over here on this side of TikTok. It's spectacular, it's diabolical, it's sensational, it's theatrical, it's magical. No, I'm not talking about Disney World, Disneyland. No, we're talking about what's going on here in the kingdom. What we do is we hold Donald Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who we all understand are hell-bent on destroying this great country of ours. We hold them accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as their crimes. And to be quite honest, the gloves are truly off. So, if you're in here and you're a Trump supporter, I want you to know I have a rule: no snowflakes allowed. All right, seriously, WVIP. I have a rule in here: no snowflakes allowed. I don't allow Trump supporters to be victims around me any longer, because when you look at all the things that are going wrong in America and perhaps even the world, 9 times, actually 10 times out of 10, you'll be able to link it to a Trump supporter. Yeah. And so with that being said, let me just do a quick temperature check. Do I have any Trump supporters up in my show this morning? Any Trump supporters? Identify yourselves in the comments section. You don't need to come up. I don't need to really talk to you, because this show, I've graduated to the point where I don't even need to talk to Trump voters anymore, because they're in a position that I want them to be in, which is they just need to sit their special behinds down and listen. All right. And I know they're getting triggered right now. They don't want to out themselves because, oh, Jay-Eazy. Jay-Eazy. Is that your grinder name? Is that your name? Jay-Eazy. Is that your grinder name? Okay, Jay-Eazy. Well, look at this pass. Okay. All right, well, listen up, you two, and I appreciate the just the proudness that you got in identifying yourselves. But I'm going to give you both a heads up before I get into my content. All right, so if you don't want me to hurt your little feelings, all right, you don't want me to melt that little snowflake you got on your little tush, right? Leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. And because you can see what I've done to Snuggles, I've totally destroyed Snuggles, right? And if you don't want to end up like Snuggles, leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here,
right,
then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
yeah.
If you're not happy
Hey,
here,
Val.
you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And with that, the doors to the Thunderdome, they have officially closed. All right. And so I don't take any responsibility for the sparks that might be flying. And that's even applicable to the mutuals, because it's at a point now where we are literally in a dirty fight with MAGA. And when you're getting dirty, you can't go, so excuse me, you got some dirt on you. Let's wipe that dirt off on you so you could get back in the mud. No, we're in the mud. But I'm still going to keep it clean now. I don't get up here and start cursing people out and using insults and stuff like that. But I'm going to just address the issues where they're at. And I'm going to make sure I meet the moment, like Governor Gavin Newsom. Yeah, but Governor Gavin Newsom, somebody put in the comment section and they said, why do you like him? Oh, because he's taking it to Donald Trump. He's sticking it to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is so scared of Gavin Newsom that he won't even mention Governor Gavin Newsom like you would think he would. He would mention Jasmine Crockett, and he would mention all these other folks out there that he doesn't think could actually destroy his career. But Governor Gavin Newsom, the leader of the 4th largest economy in the world, Donald Trump doesn't want to deal with that, because the moment it becomes a competition about like who's the most handsome, Governor Gavin Newsom's going to win, right? The moment it becomes about who can actually complete a sentence and sound like they actually understand the issue and got real solutions, it's going to be Governor Gavin Newsom. And by the way, who's not on the Epstein files? Governor Gavin Newsom. I just thought of that. And then the last one is this. Doesn't Governor Gavin Newsom actually could just put his ankles on the desk, and we could all see at the end of the day, you put 2 ankles on the desk, Donald Trump's and Governor Gavin Newsom's, we'll see who the real problem is. Huge W, Zeus. All right. So what I'll start to show off with today is, so remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that's going on, and I said I gotta do it. And then what I'll do is I'll warm up the lake of fire, and I'll send Donald Trump straight to hell. People say, Zeus, why do you send Donald Trump straight to hell? He's the president of the United States. I don't give a darn. A demon is a demon, all right? And if a demon does something that warrants judgment from Big Zeus, guess what? The demon got to go. So what we're going to do is this. We finally caught him. We finally caught Donald Trump admitting to something we'd already told a lot of his supporters. And what does that have to do with Zeus? What got you so angry? This has to do with Project 2025. Oh, Zeus, don't bring that up. Please, Zeus, don't bring it up because we know Donald Trump lied and said he had nothing to do with it, Zeus. And we fell for the lie because we're a bunch of fools out here. We just love putting our faces in Donald Trump's dirty, disgusting diaper and acting like three blind mice. You guys are sick. And so what we'll do is this. We're going to get the evidence out that Donald Trump truly knows what's going on with Project 2025. And this is what will happen. Once the government shuts down, we're going to get closer to a lot more truth.
He said this morning that he said, I have a meeting today with Russ Vought of Project 2025 fame. Of course, that was the project that Democrats demonized, went after hard in the campaign, saying, look at this. And
yeah, Kamala Harris warned us vehemently. Donald Trump wants to implement Project 2025. She warned us. And what did every single Trump supporting grifter on social media say? Oh no, they went out and repeated Donald Trump's lies. Oh, I don't know anything about it.
Very campaigned very hard on that.
See, I get
Donald
mad.
Trump, when he was running for the second term, said, well, this Project 2025 thing, I don't really know much about it.
Some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. They are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. Project 2025, I've said 100 times, I know nothing about it. I had nothing to do.
And today, meeting of Russ Vought of Project 2025 fame.
Wow. You see that? Jay Easy. Okay, Jay Easy, you're begging Big Zeus. Come on up here real quick if you don't mind. I'll take care of the Jay Easy. This will be an easy thing to do. You said I don't want to bring you up, Jay Easy. Come on up. I just sent you an invite because I was about to do something very sinister. But you begged me. Come on up here, Jay Easy. I sent you an invite and now you don't want to get in the box. Okay, so listen up, Jay Easy. And this is why I don't like to interact sometimes, because it's all smoke and mirrors with you all, but I'm not falling for it. Donald Trump just got caught lying, saying that he had nothing to do with Project 2025. Then he's bringing in Russell Vought, and then all of a sudden he actually admitted it was tied to Project 2025. So what this is proof of is that MAGA, obviously, they're too simple-minded and they can't think for themselves. They don't understand that every single lie that they tell, we will get to the bottom of it and make sure proper remedies are made, all right? And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire. And this is for you, Teddy. And Jay Easy. Where's Jay Easy? He said, Zeus, bring me up. I guess you don't want to debate. What is there to debate? I'm up, you're not. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Jay Easy, Teddy, as well as Donald J. Trump where they belong. Straight to hell! Dude, that's a lot of fire.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
W, Zeus. Where are my critics at? They said I couldn't do it. I just did. I just sent Donald Trump straight to hell. And what are you going to do? And you know what they tell me? They say, Zeus, you can't do that. All right, WVIP, thank you. You know they get mad when you do that, by the way. So they go, Zeus, this is what someone actually came and said, Zeus, I'm screen recording you, and I'm reporting you to the FBI. This is what they said to me. And I said, well, what's my crime? Don't I have the ability to speak freely? Isn't this remember, this is what Charlie said he wanted us all to be able to do. Speak what's on our mind in order to save this great country of ours, right? And so I thought about it and I said, well, so imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be in the courtroom, all right? It'll be Big Zeus. They'll try to be prosecuted. And it'll be who? Who will it be? One of these Zeus haters out there. And then what will they do? They'll hit play on MAGA Queen, right? Remember MAGA Queen? And they'll just hear what MAGA Queen said. And there's not a jury And do I need to play what MAGA Queen said? Because I can do it. There's not a jury on the planet, and I came to this conclusion, that will hear what MAGA Queen said and then walk away and say, yeah, Zeus is guilty. They'll say, Zeus, I don't know how you put up with these folks, all right? Because you're doing the work of God out there, really trying to wake these people up and get them out of this cult that they found, all right? So with that being said, another a W for Big Zeus. Somebody said play it. I might play it later. I got to get through my rest of my content. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, has to do with Donald Trump and his lie that he said, there were no new wars when I was in office. There would never happen. If I were in office, speaking about the conflict with Israel and Ukraine, it would have never happened. But then we find out some bad news. Trump has declared that that the United States is in an armed conflict with drug cartels. And I said, wow. So he's dragging us into another war. Listen to this.
With President Trump's declaration that the U.S. is now in an armed conflict with drug cartels.
Oh.
For weeks, the U.S. Navy has been targeting Venezuelan ships it says carry drugs to the United States.
Right.
The White House is calling the drug runners, quote, unlawful combatants. That's a term that was once used to describe al-Qaeda members. CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie Daggett joins me from the Pentagon. So, Charlie, what does this designation of unlawful combatants mean when it's at home?
Yeah, so it has to do with that memo that you referred to, seen by CBS News and sent to Congress, where the president has made the decision that the U.S. is engaged in non-international armed conflict, very specific, against designated terrorist groups, in this case, the drug cartels. And as such, he's justified to use the U.S. military to deliver lethal force under his direct orders as the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
And the suspected drug dealers they've blown out of the water in recent weeks are, as you said, unlawful combatants, not criminals, because it would be illegal to just gun down drug dealers in the street without, an arrest, evidence, and a trial. But combatants can be killed on sight, even when they're not directly threatening U.S. forces or Americans. And that was argued last month by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
So they want to be able to go around here and just unalive innocent people at will. And this is the party that claims to be Christ-like Christians. You're not Christians. And so what we see, ladies and gentlemen, it's so funny that Donald Trump has so much money to go to war, but has $0 to feed the poor, right? And the sad part about this reality is we all know that maybe 80% or 90% of his supporters, they're really, really dirt broke and poor. I know a guy on this platform, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. He doesn't know it, but he's very, very poor. Yeah. And he takes great pride in it, but at the end of the day, he's totally been set up for not success, but he's been set up for failure. So for all of you Trump voters out there that are making less than $100,000 a year, all right, how does it feel knowing that Donald J. Trump, Tiny takes out less than 50,000. Where was I going? Where are my manners? You're making less than $50,000, but you're finding out Donald Trump is bailing out Argentina $20 billion for you. He's giving millions to his billionaire friends. Elon, you take what you want. Tiny take out Tim. I don't got any money. W. Leah, thank you so much. He doesn't have any money for you, but you know what he has for you, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom? He has hatred. Yeah. You don't need money when all he has to do is just, go out there and hate on Big Zeus and the Democrats. You don't need a crying dime. And you'll walk away and say, thank you, boss. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire once again for these unhinged, deranged Trump voters out here who still don't get it, that Donald J. Trump is out here playing them like a fiddle. They are literally the laughing stock of the universe. Join me in sending them where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you macadamia.
Huge W Zeus, ladies and gentlemen. Huge W Zeus. These folks don't understand what they gotten themselves into. Let me see who this is real quick. Jim, good morning. Welcome to the show. Is this Jim? Jim Trujillo. Good morning. I don't know who Jim is. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Who is CC? Good morning, CC. Welcome to the show. I just want to see if it's working because these people have been sending me invites, but I can't get them to get in the box. Okay. I assume that's a huge W Zeus then. What up, Q dog? Yeah. So what we're dealing with right now, ladies and gentlemen, is just more proof that there's trouble in paradise, right? And what I'll do is this. TikTok has this thing going on, and I post a video, And if it has the FBI and it has Cash Patel in it, it just gets flagged for some reason. Believe I might be the only one going through this. And so I've been wondering why have videos that I post, if they include mentionings of the FBI, all of a sudden you get all of this stuff going on. Oh, this video's been discontinued. This can't do that. We're not going to push this content. And so what we got right now, and this is in relationship to Charlie Kirk. We got Cash Patel basically admitting that he's actually going after everyone's First Amendment on social media, because now, after he's made so much money off social media, all of a sudden he's expressing concern, because the funny thing is this. It's not just the folks on the left that don't believe what he's saying, especially as it relates to Charlie Kirk. It's actually a lot of people on the right. A lot of people on the right are questioning Cash Patel and his leadership. And so listen to what he says, and then we'll go straight to judgment.
The simple answer, in my opinion, is social media is wildly out of control, and there's too much clickbait in this country.
Okay.
And one of the things I highlighted to Congress in my testimony last week was, if we want to protect our youth, we got to get more involved in social media and online platforms, because that's where the folks, the assassins of this world, get radicalized. That's where they're the lone wolf actors in general. And so we have to get after that problem set. And I asked for Congress to help in doing so. But speaking of Charlie Kirk, who was a very dear friend of mine, and then I was tasked with leading the nationwide manhunt to find the perpetrators involved, of course we were going to use every resource we have to find every single person involved. And the investigation is still ongoing. But we, as one of the pillars of my leadership here at the FBI, is transparency. We've produced more documents to Congress than my last two predecessors combined by twofold.
You hear this?
Just to put it in perspective. So when we take our investigations out to the streets, I have the same ethos. And this is how we got Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin.
So he corrected himself. He said alleged, and then he says we got. And so I'll stop it right there. We all know that Cash Patel didn't get him. He turned himself in. At least that's what we were told, right? And for some strange reason, you wonder, if you were such an effective leader, Cash Money, they call him Cash Money, how did you allow this to happen on your watch? One thing we can all agree, Charlie never had to deal with this when Joe Biden was in office. Am I lying? When Joe Biden was in office, didn't we all feel a little bit more safe? Because when Donald Trump can't even protect one of the most valuable pieces on the chessboard, Charlie Kirk, that's proof that we're no longer living in a country where we all feel safe. So when I hear folks out there, especially, and they know who they are, I do feel safer because we're getting rid of the illegal. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you just look at it, MAGA, every day that we continue to let Donald Trump run this great country of ours, you are facing damnation. And I've been telling you this, and I'm going to keep saying it because I have to. Right now, Donald J. Trump, and you could go look at the video. I did it. It's a little bit of a twist to the movie Inside Man with Denzel Washington. But I made it because I wanted to make a point. Donald Trump is he's a madman, all right? He's willing to take innocent Americans and hold them hostage by shutting the government down and threatening to fire innocent Americans. Those innocent Americans that he is threatening to fire, they had absolutely nothing to do with the shutdown. What kind of president has these folks in a back room, they're negotiating it, and it's like, if you don't do what I say do, I'm going to fire 100,000 people from the Department of Education. Just imagine the visuals of that. He doesn't care if they're MAGA or not. He's going to fire. If you don't give me what I want, what do you want? I want to continue just ripping off the federal government and doing what I want with no accountability. And if I can't do that, guess what? I'm going to fire a bunch of inspector generals. And MAGA cheers this on because they have no clue. I'm going to fire a bunch of TSA agents. I'm going to fire the people at the CDC. Well, you know what? I'm at the point now, because I'm really at the point now where I'm like, you know what? Just go ahead and do it. Shut the government down and just watch Donald Trump just destroy the entire country. I promise you, Donald Trump is fulfilling what I already said that he's going to be fulfilling. There won't be a midterms where MAGA will be able to show up and vote, because every day he's going to do something to make living in this country harder for them, because he's destroying them. He's destroying them. They're literally cheering him on as he takes away their health care. He's cheering them on as he takes away the flight attendants, the people who inspect our food. They're cheering this stuff on. Well, silly, when you decide to go fly, or when you decide to eat something and you, oh, what is that? I think I got food poisoning. Yeah, that's what happens when you clap for foolishness. And this is why I got to take great pleasure in doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending some of the most idiotic, and listen, what happened to Charlie Kirk? Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Seriously, no one should have ever had to go through that. We as American people should have not had to witness that. And if we would have had a competent FBI that was actually actively involved in monitoring the domestic issue that we have here, because Director Christopher Wray already said the greatest threat to this country right now is, guess what? White supremacists here in the country. But if you get someone like Kash Patel, Van Holla, whatever, you don't feel safe. And so what I'll do is this. I'm going to warm up the lake of fire because MAGA knows this. Charlie Kirk would still be here if Joe Biden was in office. He would still be here because the FBI would have been monitoring and doing things to prevent that. But you're too ignorant to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. And I didn't even get on the Mormon church thing that happened too. But join me in warming up the lake of fire and sending these deranged MAGA demons who are hell-bent on destroying themselves in this country. Join me in sending them where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demons.
W. Zeus. Now, I got to do this, and then I got to open up the box and talk to whoever is willing to get up here and actually be civilized and have an honest conversation. How many of you actually saw this video? How many of you saw this video Donald Trump posted last night on his social media account? So this is what he's doing while the government is shut down, while people are being furloughed and not getting any of their money. He really has gone somewhere where he thinks mentally he's winning this situation with the government shut down. He really thinks it's funny to have, him, Russell Vought, have them all up in there running around here threatening to fire innocent Americans. And so what we'll do is we'll get this on the record. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it because I want folks to understand. They have a whole song. This is what they're doing. They're making fun of people during the government shutdown. You see this? Russ Vought is the Reaper. I just got done telling you all that a lot of you Trump voters won't be here to vote. Remember, I just said that. Y'all ain't gonna be here to vote because Donald Trump is going to take you out. And then what did Donald Trump do? He gave Big Zeus a gift. He actually gave me a music video to back up what I've been telling you, MAGA. You can't make this stuff up. Here comes the Reaper. Gonna tie your hands. Tell me if you don't start to... Doesn't this seem like what goes on inside of a cult? You won't be able to fly. Cry baby, end your plan. See when he goes blah blah blah. When he goes blah blah blah, that's what they're doing. They're drowning out the truth. Yeah. MAGA, if I were you, I would walk away from the cult today. Because this is pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, damnable evidence that Donald Trump is running a cult. And what he is doing is he's prepping you for for the last phase, which is elimination. If you know about what happened during the Jim Jones things, they used to have these, drills. They had drills before he actually carried out the final plan. Am I lying? Am I lying? I wasn't around when Jim Jones was alive, but I've looked into it enough. They would do mock staged, whatever. You got to keep it clean, right? Staged events to prepare people to enter peacefully into the afterlife, right? So he would come up with scenarios to test people's loyalty. Hey, the FBI's coming. Here, run in here, do this, take this. If you drink this, it'll take you out. And he would see if people would really drink it, because that would prove to him that they were loyal. And if they didn't drink it, then he would be able to figure out they're not loyal and then get rid of them. And so the ones that kept going along with this because they thought it was a game, those are the ones that you saw basically lose their lives. And this is why I'm out here, MAGA. He put himself in that outfit. Donald J. Trump put himself in that outfit. That wasn't Chuck Schumer doing that. That wasn't Hakeem Jeffries. That wasn't a Democrat. It's him. Makeup and all. Y'all too ignorant. You got too much pride and you're too blind to see it. And so that's why I don't mind doing what I do. Whatever her name was, Hillbilly Val. Remember you said I shouldn't be sending people to the Lake of Fire and Snuggles live yesterday? Well, guess what? You go run back to Snuggles and tell him what I'm about to do. Hey, Val, Hillbilly Val, let me go ahead and warm up this Lake of Fire. I'm going to start with you. I'm going to get Snuggles. I'm going to get Wildman, SC69, because that's his grinder name, Teddy, J-Easy, and every single Trump voter out there. And they know exactly who they are. And the Bears, too. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these hypocrites where they belong. Straight to hell! Care? I don't care. Yeah. Huge W, Zeus. Huge W. Clean up in aisle 6. Yeah, all right, now let's go to the box, ladies and gentlemen, because again, we're on a tight schedule. Who do we have brave enough to get in the box? Come on up here, put a 1 in the chat. If you are a Trump voter, I'll bring you up, and then after that, we'll take care of business, and then you know what? We'll do what we gotta do next, okay? Do we have any, what is this? Live may contain AI generated. Look at that. Oh my God, he's getting my live, get with this ridiculous warning. Oh my gosh, I don't like that. Let me go back to something more. Let me go back to something a little bit more civilized. All right, hold on one quick second. All right. There you go. Oh, there we go. How about that? All right, maybe that'll get the AI thing off. All right. Yeah. All right. Do we have any Trump voters out there? Place a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right on up here real quick. All right. Let's give them a chance, ladies and gentlemen. You know they're scared. MAGA is scared right now, but I'll give them a chance. I'm just trying to get rid of the AI generated content thing, all right? But you see how Donald Trump sets you up. Remember when the show first started, we had a bunch of Trump voters out here. Yeah, I agree, go dog. We had a bunch of Trump voters out here, but they don't want to get up in the box and talk about what we're just covered because they know the end is near. They know Donald Trump is going to destroy them, all right? And when he does destroy MAGA, I'm just going to sit back and eat my popcorn because I'm going to go, yeah, y'all brought this on yourselves because y'all chose to be ignorant. All right, let's see. All right, who do we have? User, good morning. User, you're in the box. I'm going to assume you accidentally requested. Fair enough. Moving along. All right, good morning. I'll bring up my good friend, Brother Val. Are you there? Good morning, Val. How are you doing?
Oh, I am here.
Yes. Well, look at that. Bright and early.
Bright and early
Yeah.
this morning. You were talking about, played a clip for something for combatants earlier.
Yeah.
And the type of combatants there
Yeah.
were.
We're in an armed conflict with the cartel.
Yeah, we're in an armed conflict with the cartel. Thing is I don't remember a declaration of war from Congress. Do you?
No, I
Do you
don't.
remember? Do you remember anything about Venezuela attacking the United States? Those would be things about it because it would be real hard to prove in the Geneva Convention
Mm.
that you unloaded these boats out of the water because they were enemy combatants. Because,
Mm.
one of the things about enemy
Wow.
combatants is they actually have to be armed.
Yeah.
They actually have to be, fighting alongside, not really alongside, I guess you could say alongside, but in a different, trying to hide themselves from the standard army of the people that you're fighting.
Mm.
Okay. So there's a lot of issues with this. I mean, by the Geneva Convention, which is considered, lawful combatants is a status under the Geneva Convention, which is
Right.
typically required of being a part of a party conflict adhering in certain rules, like commanding subordinates, where incentives. But
Yeah.
other unlawful combatants, which also has another word I won't repeat that goes along with it under the Geneva Convention, but these
Well,
people are people like the Taliban.
and that's, to me, that's the most alarming part. And then you said they're unlawful combatant. He wants to be able, from what they're saying, they want to be able to just unalive people,
Right.
without going through the whole due process and
Right, without due
verification
process.
Yeah.
And we talk about, substances that come into this country all the time, right? Like the F substance and everything like that.
Right.
The largest bust still to this date of the F substance coming into this country
Mm-hmm.
came from California on a boat.
Oh.
Okay. And also, if we were going to use that as a talking point, wouldn't we be attacking China?
I mean, I would think that Trump would do that, but I think China, from the way I see it, they're clearly outmaneuvering Donald Trump, right? And so on so many levels that I can see that he's very weak on China, even though he tries to say that he's strong. He's very weak.
Right, because that's the thing. 80% of that comes through by American citizens, by the way.
Yeah.
The largest bust for that was a sheriff's department in California, right? Bringing it
Yeah.
in through the U.S. mail.
Wow.
U.S. mail.
Wow, what a disgrace.
These are the things that, I don't get when we talk about these subjects and we try to use this to attack boats, fishing trawlers in Venezuela, when the numbers show less than 5% of all substances that come in this country come from Venezuela.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
know.
So what do you think this is really all about? Why is he, in your opinion, willing to throw away his record, right? There were zero new wars, and he says it would have never happened if I were in office.
Well,
Why
that
do you think
record,
he's?
that record was trash long ago.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, here's how I believe it's going to go down. I mean, we're going to have the Geneva Convention involved. Venezuela's already, you know what I'm saying, put stuff out there. There's other countries that are going out there after
Yeah.
them. You now have governors in our own state right now that are asking for the 25th to be put on because he's
Really?
because he's asking for the governor of Chicago is asking for the administration to use the 25th Amendment on Donald J. Trump
Well, yeah.
for bringing military into the city. You know what I'm saying? Into the cities. You got the ICE movement going on right now with people that are actually American citizens that are being pulled out of their homes, detained.
Wow.
Okay, guys, I don't care if you're going after illegals, so if that's what you want to deem them, or undocumented people in this country that shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But when you start pulling American citizens out of their homes, let's not forget that most of them are black people.
Yep.
Okay.
And then that
And
goes back to
arresting
Blaga.
them.
And
Yeah.
that goes back to Blaga, our Blaga audience in
Right.
here. I can't wait, Val. I've been monitoring it so much. I just want to see somebody on TikTok here that is on. I just can't wait for them to end up on the news. It's just something. I'm so sorry to interrupt you and say
Right.
that, but I know eventually the numbers are in our favor that they'll end up being the victim of Donald Trump.
Right. And that's the thing. Well, they already are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here's you can't tell me there wasn't anybody in these raids that probably didn't vote for Trump that was actually picked up. Statistics say yes, there would be.
Yeah.
If you pick up 100 people, 13 of those people probably voted for Trump.
Yeah, and we've
I mean,
heard, and I've
it's just
shared
flat
regret
math.
stories. I've shared the regret stories, right? One gentleman, his wife, All she did was, got a little misdemeanor over a fraudulent check when she was like, 18 years old. She's like 50 or 60 something now. And it all caught up with her, and she was no longer allowed to come back in the country with her kids. Yeah.
Right.
We see
And
these
these are
things.
the things that are going on. But I want people to remember, and I'm going to reiterate, these are American citizens being pulled out of their homes by a government agency, detained, held until they can prove they're an actual citizen. This is unlawful. Y'all sit here and try to play these games with the Fifth Amendment, saying, well, because they're not citizens, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Well, we all know it actually does apply. But now we're talking about American citizens. Y'all have always maintained that American citizens apply under the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah.
So if you're an American citizen in this country and your door gets broken down and you get taken into custody and held, your Fifth Amendment, your Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights have both been
They've been stolen.
taken away.
Yeah. They've been stolen, and they clap when it gets stolen, which is to me like, wow, you must really hate yourself and the country. I don't
Right.
get it. I don't get how a person could get there.
Right, but this is also why in the beginning of our country, from the very beginning, George Washington, Adams, different people said, you do not and cannot turn the military against its citizenry in this type of fashion.
Yeah.
You can't do it
Thank you.
because the military is not a policing force.
Correct.
The military is a blunt object. And when you put that kind of object into a city, people's rights are going to get subverted.
That part. Good morning.
And if you subvert the rights to one, you subvert the rights to all.
Amen. Amen. All right.
These are
Brother
the
Val.
things that are, just driving me absolutely insane.
Fair enough. Well, listen, I appreciate you for getting up here and helping to get that valuable insight information out here. All right. And as always, keep
All
up
right,
the
buddy.
great work, ladies and gentlemen. Give a huge round of applause to Val. No lies detected. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
See you, buddy.
See ya. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's a nice little show of force this morning. We're really at a point in this country where you have to be able to meet the moment, and that means, I'm going to continue to engage MAGA, but I'll engage them however I see fit for the most part. And right now, they know that they're in a lot of trouble. I just put the video up. Everyone in the country knows who's responsible for the government shutdown. Do we all know who's responsible for the government shutdown? Who do you think is responsible? Is it the Democrats or is it the Republicans? What's the answer? Are the Democrats responsible for the government shutdown, or is it? Let's see. Does anyone think it's the Democrats? Let me see. I'm looking in the comment section. Oh, someone wrote Trump directly. Republicans. Yeah. If you think it's the Democrats, go ahead, come on up here. Look at it. I love it. W to the audience. Yeah, I don't see one person in here saying that it's the Democrat. Oh, there he is. Come on up here. There you go. I saw one. He wrote Democrat. What's up? Come on up here. What's up? We got to talk. Yeah, because now what it means is if you wrote Democrats, this means you're not listening to any of the information that's being shared, or you're just in here intentionally trying to mislead folks. And we want to get to the bottom of it. Where did I go wrong? Was I lying? All right, yeah. So the whole ladies and gentlemen, 99.9%. There, someone said prove it was the Democrats. W. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have next? Lester. Good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. How are you doing, Lester?
What's going to me?
Oh, okay. I see what's going on over here. Well, listen, I appreciate.
Shit.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. All right, but I ain't got time for that. All right, let's move it on to Just Sharing. All right. Good morning. Let's see. Good morning. Yeah, I'm looking for. I want to find these people out here who honestly think that Donald Trump is still doing a great job, even though the government is shut down and they're willing to spend, double, triple, or even quadruple on their health care. I really want to hear from them. All right, seriously. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Look at, I can't get anybody that's brave enough to come on up here. You notice this, ladies and gentlemen? Am I that terrible? Where MAGA just refuses to get up here and try to defend themselves. Silver, good morning. Silver. Silver, are you there? Going once, going twice. Sold. All right, well, we'll move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have? Good morning, JTA. Good morning, JTA. How can I help you? Yes. All right, Silver, I got it.
All right. Can you see me?
No, I can't see you. There's
a little bizarreness going on.
There's some noise in the background.
All right, I see you.
Uh-oh. There's a little bit of noise.
Yeah, the landscapers are here.
We can't see you. Okay.
Can you?
Oh, you can see
I am right here.
Okay, I can see you.
Yeah, if you hear like sounds as landscapers, I can't help that, Florida.
Oh, okay.
But what I wanted to say, coming up, first off, hello Zeus, hello everybody. Trump reminds me of like a little child. Every time he's putting up some AI thing, and whether it's a meme or a music video, it's like he's a jealous little child that just can't get over the fact that nobody likes him. I think it was funny when he tried to come out and he was like, "Oh, it's so quiet in here." Well, they're quiet because they're disgusted with him. That's why they were quiet.
Yeah.
But to answer your question of why nobody comes up here is because what can they defend? They're realizing, they won't admit it, but they're realizing slowly but surely that you can't defend the indefensible. And Trump is just a clown, but when you have people like DJ, Dame,
I forgot
Tiny
all
Tank
about.
Top
I
Tim.
forgot all about DJ. He's been quiet lately, huh?
Yeah, he's been as quiet as a church mouse.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they're still stuck in the MAGA cult and in the demon persuasion, I guess, because like no matter what, you can show them the proof, but they will defend with honor of this orange buffoon. But also, to answer that other question, who shut down the government?
Yeah.
Who's responsible? It's Agent Orange. That's who's responsible. Plain and simple.
Yeah. I asked everyone in here. There's a 1.5 thousand people in here, which is a light crowd, right? Because normally when they got so much going for them, they are in the comment section. They're just, Zeus, you're wrong, you're a liar, this and that. They are so quiet, huh?
Oh yeah, and not for nothing, a lot of these people, I call them keyboard warriors. They're very tough, like Tiny Tank Top, behind the screen, behind the keyboard, to say anything that they want, but they know damn well if it was in person, they won't have the testicular fortitude, to put it lightly.
Yeah. What? Because they're suffering. Yep. They're burning in hell right now, and they know that all the excuses that Donald Trump has given them aren't going to be enough to endure, purgatory, because they're really there. Could you imagine, JTA, not having any money to pay your bills, and then going for months and months?
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I know the struggle, but
I do too.
These people are doing it self-willingly. That's why they're doing it. They can't get enough of the crack of Agent Orange, if you know where I'm going at.
Yeah.
But it's sad at the end of the day.
It's sad, but you know what? You've been watching the show just like I have been. Do you feel bad for them and their suffering right now?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, we're all humans, and there's that human side that maybe just a little sliver, but these are the same people like Tiny Tank Top Tim, who, I know I'm picking at him a lot, but he deserves it.
Yeah.
what was it that he had said some time ago when everybody was talking about Medicare being taken away?
Yeah.
And he was saying how he doesn't care, so be it. Well, you're suffering, so be it.
Yeah.
Go F yourself.
Hey,
So-
WJTA. Thank you.
But anyway, I know you gotta go. Just wanted to come up and say hello. Thanks
All
for
right.
everybody for subbing and watching my videos. I know I
Yes.
didn't plug that in last time.
Make sure
but,
you follow JTA
you know.
Creations, because what he does is he takes characters that frequent the show and he's integrating them into WWE wrestling stuff. All right. And
Yep.
I'm on there. I've seen a lot of these MAGA demons on there, and then I like the one with the hood, the one that you have with the hood. You know the Triple
Oh,
K
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He tries to do a number on Big Zeus, but I end up
And-
winning
and-
all the time.
Well, that's the funny part. Like, I want to make it clear. Like, when I do those videos, I don't control anything. I let the computers go at it.
Yeah.
So, like, some people have suffered losses. Some people suffers wins.
Yeah.
When you go in there, you're always winning. So, you
Yes,
know,
yeah.
tell what's his name, Snuggles, to shove that.
Hey.
But you know,
You got to be careful because he might like that because
But-
he's on Grinder. All right, I found that out. That's
Well,
why they call themselves
I mean,
Snuggles
let's-
and stuff. Yeah.
well, I'm sure him, Dame, and Tiny Tank Top Tim have their own room together. But you know,
Lord
But-
have mercy. Seriously. But all right,
yeah,
bro.
as long as it's consenting adults, whatever. But
Yeah.
but they're the first to judge. That's the funny part. But
True.
I'll let you go at it.
All right.
You guys have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna keep rocking and rolling here in Florida. So let's go.
Alrighty then, WJTA, as you all can see, dedicated truth soldier, no lies detected. Alrighty then, oh my gosh, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's a show of force. Let me do it again. Where are my Trump voters at? Where are you snowflakes at? Identify yourselves in the comments section, all right? Because I know you're in here and you're listening. And you're trying, and you know who I haven't seen lately? JTA, you brought it up. Where is DJ? Huh? Where is DJ? Right? Has anyone seen DJ? Has anyone seen DJ lately? Snuggles, where are these folks at? They always had so much to say. Right now, they going, shoot. This guy, Donald Trump, he is as the Democrats have been saying the whole time. My pastors didn't lie to me. Assler, too. My pastor didn't lie to me. I done lost my family and friends. They don't want to talk to me no more. They're in a dark place right now. Yeah. It's better that they just zip it and try to pretend like it never happened. Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. Yeah. It's only going to get worse for you MAGA demons. It really will get worse because this is just the beginning. We haven't even completed the first year. I think by the time midterms come, these folks are going to be running out of the cult. Please help us. They're going to look starved and malnourished. They're going to be dirty because they're going to be, when you come out of Trump's diaper, you're going to look dirty, right? They're going to be smelly. They're going to be talking, but you won't be able to process the words because they're just going to be rambling and saying a bunch of gibberish. But ultimately, it's all adding up to, please help me. I need help immediately. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, now you tell me, who is your daddy? And you better say Big Zeus. All right, because, I do run MAGA. All right, let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Z-Pac. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Oh man, it is so good to be back in the kingdom.
Welcome, welcome. Yes.
Trump, Tupac once said, I wonder why they call you bitch.
Oh, I remember that.
Sorry, keep it clean. Keep it
you
clean.
got me in trouble right there.
Donald Trump wonders why they call him bitch. I did it again. I did it again.
So you got some sort of demon inside. It's a Tupac demon today, huh?
Yeah, it came out because I was a little hyped up yesterday for the Tupac Thursday action that I did. A little different, but anyway.
Well, you tell Mr. Shakur that he better keep it under control over there, or guess what? Judgment awaits.
Judgment awaits.
Yeah.
But he wonders. He wonders why they call him that, right?
Yeah.
Because He is that. Like, he is. He's a total B, right?
think
I
so?
mean, I think so. I think the man, the terrible thing about the shutdown, and I know a lot of people have mentioned this to you in your live, but it gives him the opportunity to accelerate his Project 25 and Agenda 47, which is kind of a danger, how we shut this thing down and then all of a sudden now he's like happy about it, right? Because
Yeah.
he can just do whatever he wants without regulation. So for him, he would love the government to be shut down for as long as possible. So
Yeah.
the Democrats kind of fell into that trap a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's
what do you mean? We
it's a good fight.
How did the Democrats?
Well, so in his mind, he wanted this to happen, right?
Right.
Even though he says he doesn't want this to happen.
right, I get that.
So I think that like it is a good thing that we did this, but it's also a double-edged sword because now he has this ability to do what he wants to do behind the scenes without any government intervention. And I think that, we have to stand, on our belief and what we're fighting for. But he's such a demon that, this is going to be his opportunity to do what he wants to do. So I think that, I think we just need to call it out and keep doing what we're doing. But I think Democrats need to be a little bit more aggressive.
Thank you.
And I understand that, he was doing it anyway, but this helps him accelerate it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's one of those things where it's a double-edged sword. It's a catch-22. It's a
Yeah.
terrible thing.
Yeah.
We shouldn't, want it to be shut down, but at the end of the day,
We have no
we're
other
fighting for
choice.
what we believe.
Yeah, we have no
Right.
choice. Do we want to go watch our Medicare, Medicaid, and our healthcare premiums just basically double, triple, and quadruple? You might as well consider us
Of course
unalived
not.
at that point, right? That's basically a D sentence, in my opinion. You're telling me I got to spend $80,000-$90,000 extra? Yeah, go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and shut this thing down because you know what? I don't feel good with him making me have to spend so much money, and then on the back end, you're watching him and his billionaire friends just totally rip the government off every opportunity they get, right? He's building a ballroom.
Right.
know,
But
and-
this is the other thing, Zeus, like the ballroom thing.
Yeah.
Building the ballroom, the outdoor courtyard. And I hate to say this, but I don't think he makes it his whole term. But does that sound like a man who's leaving, building a ballroom and turning the White House into his own Mar-a-Lago?
No.
Does that sound like a man who's leaving?
That sounds like somebody who's digging in, and he really has convinced himself that he can be the president until he takes his last, breath. And unfortunately, that's what we're having to deal with. And his base, they're going to continue to prop him up for that. But guess what? It's going to be real ugly when he loses a midterm, and then we begin the process of removing him from office. All right.
I mean, and that's going to have to be our only action.
Yeah.
I mean, and this time it's honestly the Democrats are going to have to be a lot smarter this time around and really try to. They got to hammer him. They have to hammer him this time. And I don't know what it's going to take to win this social media bro culture war, but we have to do something to flip this script to get a lot of people out here because you look at what has changed. He doesn't want the Epstein list released. That seems to be the one thing that a lot of people have turned on him. Nick Fuentes, other people like that. So we really have to also get on Mike Johnson to swear in this senator to allow us to release this list.
Yep.
And so there's just a lot of, we just have to play dirty, this whole like when you go low, we go
No, we're not doing
high.
that.
We just can't do that anymore.
Exactly. Well, listen up.
But
Big
that's all I had to
Zeus has
say this
go.
morning.
All right. Well, listen
Yeah.
to WWZ-POC, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. Well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we've made it out on time. I want to give each and every single one of you a huge round of applause. No lies detected, but Big Zeus does have to get up out of here. I want to say special thank you to all of my subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Because without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Incredible, diabolical, magical, and sensational. But I also got to give. Hold on. I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. This goes out to every single Zeus hater out there, and they know exactly who they are, but they're not showing their faces anymore. Because guess what? They're losing, and we are the ones winning. Yeah, shut the government down. Yeah, and go ahead and implement Project 2025 as much as you can, Donald Trump, because this is your last chance. Because trust me, once the American people catch on to all the crimes you've been doing behind our backs and all of your lies, all that you've been gathering, you're going to have to give it right back. W. Zeus, right? But go ahead, let's send them straight to hell. You're going to give it all back to us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you Monday. Have a great time. Have a great rest of your Let's go! What a great show! Watch all the Zeus haters come out. They know that I'm not pressing them right now. So they're gonna come out behind me right now and tell me how much they love me. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Let's go! Thank you. Let's go, let's go. Hey, shout out. Thank you, Art. You know what we do. Let's go. Shout out to Vice President Kamala Harris. I see you, Shay. W, heaven. Shout out to Governor Gavin Newsom. Yeah. Let's go, let's go!